everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fronts from Work. I'm Tom, this is Sean, and on today's episode we're going to talk about the Netflix original series, The Watcher. We're going to break it down, what we did like, didn't like. You've seen our episodes, you know how this goes. But before we get right into that, do us a favor, leave a like and subscribe right now. Right here, right now, do it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. And also follow us on Instagram, frontsfromwork_podcast. Follow us on TikTok too. I've been slagging on Instagram lately, but I've been up to date with TikTok for the most part. So if you want to see the most up to date, go to TikTok. If you're lazy like me when it comes to Instagram, then Instagram's right up your alley. But again, all the links are down below. And I will let Sean take the lead for this. I want you to give your general thoughts on it. Don't go too much, don't break down the episodes. There's like what you felt watching it.
Well, I thought it was really good. Very suspenseful. First, it's based on a true story.
You want to scoot the mic a little closer?
It's based on a true story. Loosely, I think this is a continuation of it, but it's about a house that a family moved into. Then they're getting weird letters. Like I said, it was very suspenseful. I usually don't like shows or anything like that, but this one's really gripping.
So good.
The mystery was, I guess, what really got me was just like that. A good mystery will get me. And the Netflix had a different series that was kind of like that. I think it was like Archive 81 or something.
So I remember that. I never watched it, but
but it was something like that. I don't usually like movies that are trying to scare you or whatever, but it had a really good mystery, and that's what gripped me with.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, I don't like scary stuff, it's got a really good like backstory mystery going on too. That's really gripping.
Yeah, I'm similar to what he just said, as in I'm not a big mystery guy, like who did it type of situations, especially when it's on real life experiences. And the only reason we chose this series originally, I never planned to watch it, but I heard there's a lot of buzz around it. I saw a lot of stuff going on social media, like Twitter specifically. Friends and family just kind of talk about word of mouth, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. Like I said,
I'd seen a lot of stuff about it too.
Yeah,
I hadn't realized. There's an episode of Unsolved Mystery on Netflix that's this case. So I'd seen it. Me and my wife watched that show on Netflix, and we had watched that one, so it did ring a bell. But this is their own imagining. This isn't based on.
Okay, yeah, that's what. So
I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm like, I don't know. It's it's very vague.
I didn't do the research on the incident itself, but I was about to. That was my question. My first question was it based was it like the Brannick family? Maybe they used aliases, and it was exactly like that.
I mean, maybe that could have been the case. Like in the Unsolved Mysteries, they don't tell you anything about the family. If you learn in the show that they spent their life savings on it. We don't learn anything about that, so it could be. And I'm pretty.
In the Unsolved Mysteries.
In the Unsolved Mysteries episode, I'm pretty sure they give a name of the family, but like I said, if it was a show, they probably just gave them a fake name, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm almost positive it's a reimagining.
Okay. Yeah, you
know what I mean? They use that archetype to make the show.
Yeah. Okay. So it was based off the initial bullet point crime scenario, whatever you want to call it.
That part, the lore. I think this was in the new age, because that's from because this was in the 2000s. Yeah. She had an iPhone and stuff. Yeah. So this is very new. The initial story is from the 90s or maybe the late 90s or something. So. And there was a guy who said he was watching the house and he watched the family before and things like that. So, yeah, that's right. It couldn't be this isn't based on, because it was this present day now, basically. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. One thing I will give praise about this show, kind of, he said the suspense and plot twists, I would say, were really unpredictable. One thing I can relate it to that's most popular, too, is a Knives Out situation. Did you see that movie? Yeah. So it's kind of like that. You really didn't know who did it, because everyone just weird. In The Watcher, everyone's weird as shit, but everyone's an asshole.
It's everyone's a suspect, and even at a point it becomes even people in the family are suspects. You're what the hell is going on? And then I feel every episode, two new people become so. You're well, or do you think they solved it? But no, they just solved that. There's
another person.
Nothing. Yeah, it's it was all over the place. It was I wouldn't say it was confusing. It was intentional. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It wasn't confusing because I was following all the strings. It was just holy just when you felt you're I know who it is. I know exactly who it is now. Then they nope. They show you a clip of them couldn't have been me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. I honestly, I'll do that. The characters that I thought it was, but now I really don't believe it, was Mitch and Mo. I feel I think they're just. I feel everyone is exaggerated as the neighbors, obviously, for the suspense of the show.
I think they're the obvious culprits, so I just feel it can't be them. They're the most obvious, where it just seemed like them.
Yeah.
they did the weird thing where they were killed.
Yeah.
And then they came back and they were like,
and then they had the perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, our son kidnapped 2 old people. Oh, it was very weird.
It was so
and
weird.
I feel like they just go on like, that's just a normal thing.
It's just a normal thing. You know.
Oh, that
Sundays,
was very
am
weird.
I right?
Yeah, I felt the same. Where it's like, I thought it was Jasper and his
Pearl?
sister. Yeah,
Pearl.
I don't know. I guess I think that's. I guess we go on. I feel like if I had to be nailed down to who I thought it was, I think it's them now. I agree with you. At most of it, I was like, I wasn't sure anybody did it, but I was the most sure it was Mitch and Mo. And then after a while, when he died, Mitch dies eventually, and then it just seemed like they were crazy people.
They just seemed like asshole neighbors. That's how I broke it down. Like the neighbors let us do it before with our flowers and shit like that. So I think it was just. They were actually just asshole neighbors.
But then again, it's like, then you would get this weird vibe that they were all in on. Towards the end, I felt like like 3 different people are in on it, but they don't realize that other people are in on it. Like, I think like one person's writing the letters, one person is sneaking into the house and fucking with them, and they're not. I don't know if they're actually on the same team. I think they're just all fucking with them. Like,
there's one person writing the letters, but everyone has their own agenda.
Because Pearl and that one dude got caught. They were the ones in the
I brought that up. Yeah.
They were the ones sneaking in the house. We do know that because it was that guy who was
Graff.
John Graff. We don't even know if
that's what they named him in the name.
Yeah, in the show, and it looked like him. And when they were before we knew who he was,
they were doing
they showed it was him, right? Yeah, that was him. I actually went back and watched an episode because it was after, and I'm like, is that the guy? I'm like, and it was him. So is it really him, or like is that they're just fucking with us?
I don't know.
I think maybe it is him. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, are they working? Like, it's just so much shit's going on. It's like, are they working together? Are they not? But it's like I got the impression that, or we know Pearl and that dude were sneaking in.
Oh yeah.
We don't know who was sleeping in that room, but maybe John, I guess, because he didn't want to get caught in the house, randomly. So, but it didn't seem like they were writing the letters.
No.
Yeah. So it's like, and I thought that whole time when that girl snuck into the house in the video, I thought that was Pearl in like a black wig or something.
Yeah, but then
because she always wore pigtails, right?
Yeah,
she was always wearing some weird pigtails. Like, I guess she looked older. They said she looks, but you never see the girl's face. They just say that.
Yeah,
like so, you know what I mean? I always
she could have moisturized.
Yeah, I like, and after we see that it was John Graff in the thing, it makes me kind of like in the tunnels. It makes me think it was Pearl too.
Yeah, or some shit. Yeah, that was the thing that was really confusing for me was. Towards the end, we'll just go into that real quick, is one thing that wasn't really paid off is like they said like, oh, okay, now we know for sure it's John Graff and Pearl, but then it was like then they all had a meeting, like it was John Graff, what was the it
was John Graff.
I'm looking for the teacher's name. Where'd he go?
Pearl.
Oh, Roger Kaplan. Pearl.
Well, he says, I know exactly who you are. How's your family? Like, it's so weird because it's like all these things are so like, does he know he's John Graff and then he killed his family? Like,
I feel like it.
Because he always loved the house. So he would have known the story of the family getting killed and who lived there. He would have known the man who lived there. So it's like, but he didn't make us think about it or anything. No. Like, so it's like, this guy who's a murderer used to live in this house, supposed to be dead. And you're like, hi, how you doing? How's the family? Like, but I guess was that like some sneak comment where like, I know you.
That was some sneak dish.
Yeah, like I know you.
Because it was an awkward.
So that like it's like so much shit. Like so many loops didn't get closed, and if I feel like they don't do another season, my brain's gonna explode.
I'm gonna kill myself. I swear to God,
I need some kind of like definitive answer to like. Who is that really John Graff? I think like that's more like I want to know if that's John Graff more than I want to know who wrote the fucking letters.
Is Dean and Nora involved too now? Like is like because Dean's like obsessed with the fucking house.
Dean's obsessed, and then Nora is like basically the person. No, I don't think she was stalking him. I think she was she's obsessed with the house too. So I think she is now too. Like that's the vibe I got. Because at first I was like, oh, is she stalking him? But it felt like she pulled up like after he left. Like clearly, like maybe she was pulling up to watch the house and realized he was there and scared him away by calling him. But then she looked at the house too. Like I think like anybody who lived there, you'd probably be crazy and you just have to know. Like, but that like towards the end, I did like it got so weird because then everybody became a suspect. Then like. They get the thing with the girl comes out, and then you find out like he took out a huge loan. Then it's like, oh, the dad's the suspect. They think it's him now. Like it was all him the whole time. Right. The PI says it's him, and then the PI's dying. Then she says she tries to take the fall for the whole thing. Then I'm like, that makes. At first, I didn't buy it. Some of the stuff made sense, but I forgot what didn't make sense.
What part
of her story?
Right, I'm saying like of her.
Yeah, of her like her living in that house. Nobody ever mentioned it.
No.
Yeah, she never mentioned it. It's like, or the police chief never mentioned it. That was the only, or like the the Stifler's mom, she never mentioned, like, nobody ever mentioned
Karen.
Nobody ever mentioned that the black woman lived in the house. So like that part I wasn't buying. And then like when she was like, I hired that girl and snuck her in, like that didn't make sense to me either. Like,
sounded like too much of a picture perfect ending, but she was doing that so Dean want to go fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, I guess. I like, it was a nice thing. I'm not saying what she did was weird. It just got fucked up, because then you're like, but then it's like, well then if that's her story, it's like, did somebody else pay to have the girl put in there? Like I said, in my head, when I first saw the video, Pearl jumped right to my head, because she had, like, her hair is that similar length, and she's always wearing pigtails too, and she's with John Graff.
Yeah.
So she knows the story about the cherry dress and all that.
I just thought she was the only girl. Like there was like.
I guess that's true too.
Because like she's thin and Mo is
thin. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm just saying, like, plus she was with John and all that shit too. So that's part where I really thought of, like, oh, it might be her, or that she clearly was involved in that part. Another part doing with that, I didn't really get, where it's like they showed this video of him and a girl. It's like they guess she's 17 years old. They're guessing she's 17 years old based on the dress she's wearing. I'm guessing, but he's just passed out and just lays in the bed. I'm like, isn't that weird?
That was a plot hole. Like,
I didn't get that,
because he brought that up. He was like, "Oh, you're cheating on him," but then Dakota later says, "Like, I fast forward through everything." Okay, so you saw him. He was just sleeping the whole time.
What he kept saying it too. He's like, I never woke up. And everyone's like, no, well, you just lay. That's like, he's some weirdo who pays a prostitute to come over and just lay in the bed.
You just sit over there.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend like I'm sleeping, and you just come in and lay down next to me.
Sleeping guy.
That part blew my mind. That was like a really big plot hole. What I don't get is, like, if he was really knocked out, if like, for the show purposes, why didn't they just have her do something to him?
Right.
But like, I guess that is the thing where, like, are they intentionally doing that to make it seem stupid?
Or like, have him, like, if it's like a spirit or something, like whatever it was, actor, spirit, etc., have him like hold her,
like
something.
It was like his wife, or like he just on instinct rolled over and like snuggled her. I don't know, but that was like, they kept showing, and it was like, do they fuck? Like, I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, they keep saying, like, it was a 17. It's like, first of all, how do you know she was 17, right? It was
you don't have anything.
Oh, they showed us, it was like the back of her. Obviously, they didn't show us the face, because then he would have known who it was, like I was saying. So it's like, all you saw was the back of her head, and like, oh, she had on a. They're like, oh, this is the fucking. That's a fucking. That's just a nightgown a 17-year-old would wear or something. Like, what the, like, they just like made up, they like the 17-year-old thing came, that was just like a plot hole where it's like, and it didn't even matter that she was 17. If it was any woman, wouldn't have been bad too. So it's like,
I just thought about that right now. That is a plot hole too, because regarding the age, because they made a whole bitch fit about
about 16 being age of consent.
So fuck it. He can fuck a 17-year-old.
Then like, then his wife was like, now that kid's like banging their daughter, and it's just like normal.
I brought that up too. He threw a whole fucking fit about it, and then he's like, you're cool, man.
Well,
like,
I mean, I think they bonded on the trauma. Like, he was like, everybody got like, yeah, you're fucking my daughter. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Then I got you back with the fucking
cop shit.
The cop shit, and then he got you back with the tape, because they're like, I didn't do anything, and then like they're like, all right, and then he proved to his wife that he didn't do anything. Right. So it's like, all right, he's fair square, and he did seem like a nice kid. You know what I mean?
That's the only person that's not a suspect.
I do, even though I do hate in shows when they do the I have a horrible dad daughters. She was right in the sense where like, you move, motherfucker. I don't know anybody but this dude you fucking have over here every day. Like, this is the only person I know. Like, and the people that you were saying, the people in the neighborhood are trying to kill us. Like, it's like, who am I supposed to be friends with?
I don't know. Yeah, that is.
So I guess that I would be pissed too. But I hated in the show that the mom and the sister try to make it like not a big deal. Like, you're overreacting when he broke the phone. It's like, he just found out you're sending freaking nudes to some 19-year-old guy, and all he did was smash your phone, and like, you're crazy. It's like, you literally just sent a naked picture to a 19-year-old guy, and I'm the crazy one. Like, I hate that, where it's like that's just like, oh, that was crazy. Like, was it crazy? Like, all he did was break your phone. He didn't break your face. Like,
and you just ground her. You're 2 weeks. Yeah. That was it.
Right.
Break your phone. You're grounded. That's it. That's not even bad.
Like, and then she like gets an iPad. Like, my dad's racist.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what is happening? Like, this little girl's a piece of shit.
I would slap the fuck.
It's like,
out
even
of
if like
her.
your dad wouldn't let you. It's like, your dad won't let you have sex with a 19-year-old dude.
So he's a dad
that is employed by him.
Right.
Who also got him fired in the long run. But and then he's like, he's racist. And then she's like, I know he's not racist. I just said, I was like, what is going on? It's like, everyone in the show, the mom, everybody, is just like a psycho bitch.
The mom believed, like, oh, I knew you wouldn't cheat, Dean, but I want you at the house. For fucking what?
Yeah.
For fucking what?
Well, that was when she found out about the money shit too, right?
That was after.
Because like then she finds out, like she kicks him out of the house, and then she finds out that he's lying about the loan and all the money, how much money they actually owe.
No, but he was kicked out, and then he came back to talk, and then she still kicked him out.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Correct if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure like
when he came back with Dakota.
Yeah.
No, I think
no. That he stayed then, but I'm saying there's like time where they talked again.
Oh yeah.
But he initially got kicked out for that sex shit. Cause then later on he came back and answered questions or something like that. There's like 3 I keep fucking with my shoe, guys. Sorry. There's like 3 times.
No, I think that was the same instance, but they asked them to excuse them and then they talked.
Okay.
Yeah, Dakota came. They all talked. What's her face kept sneaking down to try and see what they were talking about, and then after Dakota proved that the lady somehow snuck in the house, she was like, Dakota, can you excuse us? And then they talked. She's like, I'm going to ask you questions. If you lie to me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
I was like, first of all, he just proved that he wasn't like, and I felt like it didn't need any proof. You guys all saw a video where like he was passed out and some girl. Well, I guess what in their head, they're like, what was it, a 5-minute video? Or what is it, a minute video? And they're thinking, it got cut.
Yeah.
So.
But what also didn't make sense too, just the wife. Fuck it. Everyone else can believe he's cheating, right? For sure. Even Dakota, if he didn't see the fucking corkboard. But his wife should fucking know. Like, and he brought her up in the show. It's what was that girl's name? Something Graff, Haley Graff, or something like that.
The cherry dress thing.
The cherry dress. He was like, it was a girl. He showed her the fucking picture of the evidence of her dead. He's like, look, someone's fucking with me. She's like, I still think you're cheating. I'm like, bitch, I want him to cheat.
Yeah, like I got to that point too where like you're just being difficult.
You're just intentionally being a dick. Like that's exactly what you're doing. Like he was like, here's the evidence right here.
I don't know. I guess it was like that's just how women are. Like the thing was the thing earlier when they're about sex, where like they weren't. She was saying they weren't having sex because of her.
Right.
Then they finally are about to do it, and he's like, "Oh, I need to go check. The alarm's going off. I want to go check." And then she makes him like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna let us get killed by the person who's breaking the house? You're horrible. Like,
piece of shit.
Then you ruin the mood. Like, oh, you guys are being stalked by someone who could be a murderer, and he just wants to go make sure the door's locked while you guys do it. Like, she couldn't wait 2 seconds. Like that was weird. Yeah, like that. I started to not like her. She's had like giving me like bitch vibes. Like
she was a bitch.
There was sometimes when she was all right, but she was giving me real bitch vibes.
The only time I really had an issue was when she was like being intentionally like in denial about the whole cheating thing. She was like, "No, you did it."
Yeah.
He showed you a fucking picture. He's like, "Hey, look it, the bitch who died in '95."
I never woke up.
Right. That was ridiculous. That was my biggest. I wouldn't say what I didn't like.
It just seemed like a setup too. It's like, who believes that? Like the girl walks in the room, gets undressed, he's like knocked out in the bed, laying on the we saw that part where it's like he never even woke up. Like,
or you could even like if it was a whole sex scene, like he had the.
Well, what I'm saying is like Dakota had all the footage. Maybe he only sent them a minute worth or something.
But like saying if they were fucking, like Dakota been like, here's him fucking. Like,
yeah, I guess yeah.
Like it's just him sleeping. Like that's the whole fuck. Oh,
yeah, that's very weird.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that bitch.
And it was like, and then Dakota was like, well, I only put a thing in the room because I thought you were the one who were writing. Like everyone thought everyone's writing the letters. Like, and then the dad actually does write one of the letters, which really puts put a lot of this in the tailspin.
Yeah.
And and then in like a lot. That's when it really like everything's going to shit when he writes one of the letters, because then there's proof that it was him that wrote it.
Yes.
And then the police officer basically calls him out, says he's filing false police reports. Like, it was
their pacing of this show, though, I will say, was really, really, really good. I was like I said before earlier in this episode, we just had a big ass rant there, but I'm not a big like who did it murder mystery type of guy too much, because sometimes the ones I've watched before like are a little too slow. But the pacing on this one,
predictable usually.
Yeah, predictable too. It's always like, oh, the mom did or some shit. But like you honestly had no fucking clue who did it, because
to not go too far ahead, you still don't know.
Yeah,
and like that is amazing writing to me. And like they wrote it so well that like everyone. Like they explain, like everyone kind of has some motive. Like there's like 10 different people with motive, including the mom or the dad, and even the mom now. Or I guess like,
mom's a fucking
or the you know what I mean. In my head, it's like the daughter's kind of got some motive.
Yeah.
Like she never wanted to move there in the first place, or the son, if he never wanted to move there, it's like
kill my ferret.
Yeah, he got his ferret killed.
But fuck, what was it? The people that I least expected was honestly Karen and Dakota.
Who's Dakota again?
Dakota's the black kid.
Oh yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, those are two. Chamberlain, I thought initially that I forgot
the detective.
Yeah,
I didn't think him per se. I thought initially at the beginning, I thought like Chamberlain, Mitch, Mo, Pearl, them are like all together.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I thought like he was helping them.
Yeah.
Like now, not so much. Like I said, I don't know. Like at first, I thought it was like a team up. Like everybody was fucking with them. Now I think like 3 different people are fucking with them because they want them out of the house.
Yeah.
But they don't know. Like they're not working together.
Like we said earlier, one's writing the letters, one's going in the house. Fucking
yeah, Pearl and her brother are like they're trying to get him out because they want to preserve the house.
Yeah,
they don't want them to change anything. Roger, if he's trying to get him out,
he was gone. He didn't even bother that house ever until Roger.
That's what we say. We don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like
this show's fucked.
We don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. It's what like. So if we're in theory, Roger can want him out because he wants to buy it. He keeps saying like, "Oh, I don't," but he shows up to the open houses. Yeah. He's trying to make it. If there's people are getting murdered here.
You know what we should. Oh, that's what we should have done. We should have rewatched the first episode when that open house was happening and see if Roger was there.
Oh, yeah, I get. I mean, they say he wasn't. He admits he was.
Oh, damn.
He admit when they corner him. He says he was there.
Oh, okay.
He says he was at. She's like, I saw you at the open house, and he's like, I like looking at old houses.
Yeah.
My friend lived there, and he died, and I wanted to go see it. Like, so he admitted to that. She was like, I saw you at the open house, but it would be cool to go back and see if he actually was in there. Maybe watch and see if anybody or John Graff was there or anybody else was there.
This show's so fucked. I'll give that. This show's so fucked in like the best ways. Here we go. Okay, so some talking points I want to bring up. Kind of going on this whole murder, really just serial killer vibe. I think the serial killer. I guess it was. But off topic, we did an episode regarding Dahmer a few weeks ago. I wanted to bring this up on this episode. They're actually making, it's because like Dahmer and then The Monster, Jeffrey Dahmer story. It's The Monster. That's really what it is, the big collection. They're doing additional seasons. I don't know if it's going to be about Dahmer or maybe Ted Bundy, but they're doing that shit where they're doing more series like that.
Like Dahmer?
Yes.
But didn't they already do Ted Bundy? Well, they did a movie, not a series.
So they also did a movie for Dahmer, too. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They're doing more. They'll have it's confirmed for 2 and 3, season 2 and 3. I don't know if it's about Dahmer or about someone else.
Well, it can't be about Dahmer.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's dead. I forgot.
I guess they could do Bundy because they only did like a movie.
Yeah. But yeah, that's coming, so I thought it'd be interesting to bring up here. But regarding the show, the one thing I didn't like, this where I felt like it was kind of a plot hole, was when they showed John Graff was going in and out the house, or when they showed that scene and then that never just got paid off. They just left there. It never felt like it got paid off.
Yeah, I guess it did. Well, it got paid off in the sense that we knew that they were going in. Like that reaffirmed that I thought that was Pearl who went in the house and was fucking with them.
Okay. Yeah, and then it was like revealed but not revealed. So I guess it would be technically Pearl and Jasper who were fucking with it because they were the ones who were leading that whole preservation thing. And they're like, we have strong recommendations. It really felt like Mo wasn't really a part of that shit at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they were like the preservation committee, and they were sneaking in and like fucking with stuff and trying to make them think there was like ghosts in the house and shit. And they killed the ferret. And I think somebody else was writing the letters.
Yeah.
Like I think they were just doing that because they wanted them out of the house because they were changing the dumbwaiter and all that shit, the countertops, all that crazy shit.
Yeah. So that was my only complaint. Was it was kind of like it was hard to tell who. I'm like. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm just.
Big complaint I had was like, why wouldn't you just go to like the FBI or like above?
Well, they mentioned that
he did, but like they never did. It's like if the police department really wasn't helping you, that seemed like a case FBI would be interested in.
Yeah,
like they made it seem like the FBI wouldn't care. It's like somebody broke in our house, killed our animal, and they've been sending us fucking ladders and all type of crazy shit's been happening. Like,
yeah.
Think somebody and if you in real life you're saying like, and we took this to our police department and they just keep ignoring us, that would make the FBI go investigate that police department, and then make the police department do it. So it's like that part they were just like, oh, we're in a small town, so there's nothing you can do about it. Right. Like I hate when they do shit like that. Like they're pretty close to New York. Like
New York, Boston. I'm trying to think of any other notes I got. Like I said, overall I think the show is really well paced and written. I think they're suspense and plot twist.
Well, who do you think did it?
Who do I think did it? That was one of my questions. I really, I sat with it the whole day, and like I want to assume. I feel like I'm fucking wrong. Like that's the worst part. Like, I don't.
Again, like I said, I think it's. I think it's 2 people, and I think
it's definitely John and Pearl.
Yeah.
I think Jasper just. I think it's John and Pearl like fuck with him most, and then Pearl just allows him to go play in the dumbwaiter.
Yeah,
just
because probably told him to kill the ferret or something.
Yeah,
or maybe John did it.
Yeah, but I think it really is John and Pearl at the center of it. Just because I mean, even Roger says like, "How's the family?" Like he knows he's like, "I know you from somewhere." He's like, "The library." He's like, "Not the library." Like just fucking with him. But
yeah,
I think it's John and Pearl.
Yeah, and then like, and what also gave me some validity to the. When what was her name? Theodora
Birch
lied and said she did it, was like when she tells him like John comes and visited him. Then right after that, she tells him the story about John and like after he did it, you know what he did? Made a sandwich, and that's what he was doing. And it's like that was odd. Like I don't like were they following him and they knew that he got that info?
Yeah,
it's like. Yeah, and then like he saw that other crazy guy he talked to in the commercial, and he's like, he's an actor. Yeah. And it's like I thought he was an actor too. It's like, oh man, it was.
But they did mention he was like a booking agent, so
yeah. I mean, when he explained it, it made sense. But when I'm saying when you saw it and he saw it, in my head, I'm like, damn, this bitch hired him. Like,
but
and then I was like, oh shit, Theodora and Chamberlain are in on it or something.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be good.
That's what, like I said, like. Every episode, they were like, it was somebody else, and there was like some good motives, some things got unearthed that like really made them look like a suspect.
Or maybe he was Dean the whole time. Fuck it. What was his son's name? Let me look right here. Carter. Maybe it was Carter, the 7-year-old.
I think if they do another season, I bet you it is like his daughter or his son. I
think it'll be Dean. Like start losing his. Oh no, the whole point is making it unpredictable. Well, okay, here we go. Before we wrap up this episode, what didn't make sense to me is Nora automatically threw herself in the fucking suspect like ring is when she saw Karen move in. She's like, I'll be watching you. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, remember that when she moved in? Karen's like, oh, I bought the house. I didn't think Karen was part of it. She was trying to get her out of the house, but she just wanted that house.
Who do you think did that to Karen?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think
because they popped up under the stairs, and it was a person in a black hoodie, like all black jumpsuit.
I'd kill myself. I just fucking pull a gun out and blow my brains out.
Yeah, that was wild too. Like they were fucking with her. That shit was crazy. I was like, it didn't look like Jasper though to me. Maybe it was John or I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It has to be because she was fucking with the house too. She had like some pink countertops. And they had a meeting about it. So maybe it was John or Pearl or Jasper or whoever. Yeah. They killed her dog, or did they kill her dog?
They killed her dog. Yeah. That show was fucked up. So basically, no one did anything, and everyone did. And
it ended like literally in the final 5 minutes. They basically like give you a shot of every person
looking
guilty. Looking guilty.
Like, God damn it!
Even the dad at the end is like watching the house and
he's like, and he talks to New Day, but he's like, "I see you around." Yeah. I was like, "No, you won't."
Why are you gonna see me around?
Why are you saying that?
Oh man. Yeah, like Roger Kaplan's walking past the house with his wife, and it's like.
And then Dean pulls up, then Nora pulls up, then Mo's out there with her binoculars, and then fucking Pearl and Jasper are like cutting wood and shit.
It's just so strange. It was like a lot was going on, but I did really like it. I really like the ending where it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like
that's one thing I'll give them credit for.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I want to see season 2 or not, but.
I honestly don't like there was a movie called The Gift and they had like an open-ended they had an open-ended ending and I kind of like I was like damn fuckers but like I like that so for this scene it would work really
I guess it was like we'll never know who fucking did it like
or you have to watch it a million times there's someone who's watching this show right now who's going batshit
they're gonna like I'm gonna watch this shit again I do like I said I would have watched the first episode again and see who's all at the open house like maybe we'll see some people. Again, everybody became a suspect, and like I said, I don't now after watching the whole thing, and like I said, the one thing we do know for a fact is that it was Jasper, Pearl, and John sneaking into the house through the tunnels. We know that without a doubt. We already kind of knew it, but they showed it. They showed it was John.
Yeah,
said he were onto us, but I just don't think they were writing the letters.
No, I don't think so.
And John was getting the letters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least he said he was or the story is he was getting letters. But yeah, the story was he was getting letters. So it's like he can't be him writing the letters. It had to be somebody like that's why I think Roger Kaplan was writing the letters.
Maybe it was his wife, because if the same Asian wife was that student in his class. If you watch that flashback.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it was. Oh, there goes my fucking mic. I need to get a new mic stand. Sorry, everyone.
Like I said, I think it's two different people who are unknowingly basically tag teaming the family who lives in the house.
Yes. Or maybe.
But initially, when I first watched it, was like, it's the whole town. Yeah. And they're all in on it. I was like, it's Mitch, Mo, Pearl, Jasper.
Everyone.
But as the show goes on, Mitch and Mo and Pearl and Jasper like don't even fuck with each other at all.
I hated that. It was such an awkward meeting. Like, I also hated that. It was Pearl, Mo, and Nora.
Oh,
no,
Nora.
There was like, oh, come over for lunch. Mo's back. And then she was like, oh, yeah, Jasper was writing these letters so conveniently after all the time you've been bitching about it. And then Mo was like, yeah, you know, my son killed just two people while we were gone. We were on vacation. And then the mom's like, oh, I believe that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was weird. And then they're like, nobody's in the house. And they just kept hearing noise.
Yeah. It was, a sneeze. He's like, who's that? He's like, he was like, Dean was like, who's that? And then Pearl's like, Jasper. He's like, I see him.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm talking about when they were all having that lunch. Somebody was like, there was like a loud walking noise.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, who's in the house? She's like, nobody.
Oh, yeah.
But then Mo was like trying to help her play it off. Like, that's what, like, they would act like they didn't know each other, but then like when Nora or Dean was involved,
they like besties.
Yeah, or it would just feel like they were working together to try and keep them off the scent. Like, it was just I don't know. I kind of want to watch it again.
I don't
because I want to see if there's something I didn't understand or I missed or didn't notice. Yes, it was very, like I said, confusing is a word. I think though it was intentionally trying to make you not understand. Everyone's a suspect.
No one's a
suspect. It ends, and you have no idea who did it. Like I said,
all your guesses out the fucking window.
Yeah, the only thing we know is that Jasper, Pearl, and John were sneaking in the house. Yeah. Well, you already knew that. Jasper had already been caught multiple times.
Yeah.
So we already kind of knew that. And like I said, I thought the whole time it was Pearl was that girl with the pigtails in his room.
Just because the
pigtails, body type, like I said, and the cherry dress, and she's with John, so that was something they might know. Maybe that's a fetish for him or some shit. Like.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I'll let you go first. What do you rate this show out of 10?
Oh, I'll do that. Before also, you know what I didn't like? They made it like, as a dad who's got a daughter, they made it seem like when he was like didn't want his daughter to put makeup on and that he was like a piece of shit for that. Like, it was like so annoying.
That was like a pretty basic dad.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like they made like that's what I feel like now, and like we'll get into it obviously, or we already have. It's like in 2022, it's like everything is like you're being toxic. Yeah. Like your dad not wanting you to wear makeup and dress like a whore, like that's bad. Like
what I didn't like, I'll agree with that, was like, so we'll stay off that. So, but it's natural. Like the dad says no, and the mom says it's fine. But then like it would dug deep, like you said, like there was like, oh well, I want to divorce you because you abuse our daughter. Like that's the part I didn't like.
Yeah, she was making it seem like when she was telling Theodore like making it seem like he might have had like urges for her or something. Right. It's like, no, it's like nobody wants their daughter. No. Like she's like, nobody sexualized you. It's like, no, because he's a man and he knows how other men think. Like that you're gonna be sexualized. He could tell. It's like that's what a dad's supposed to do. You know what I mean? He senses that you're putting yourself in a difficult situation or a bad situation.
And she knew every time she put on the lipstick, she was flirting with Dakota.
Yeah,
like come swim with me,
exactly.
babe.
And we all know this. That's why dads are telling him because he knows it. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I hate when the moms are always acting delusional. Like that's just what little girls do. Like, bitch, you were a little girl. Is that what you were just doing it for? Like, but yeah, I didn't really like that where they made like normal protective dad like good thing turn into like, oh, you hate your daughter and you're toxic. Pedo. Yeah, like making it weird. It's like,
pedo,
what the fuck?
Toxic masculine.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But to rate it out of 10, I'd say 7.5. I really liked it. Maybe even more. I don't know. There are things I didn't like. There are some things that don't make any sense. Like this with the affair part where it's like he's drugged, clearly knocked out, and some girl lays in the bed with him, and they're like, you raped a 17-year-old girl. Like I was like, it was just very weird. And then like you said, they also go on a tangent about the legal age in New Jersey, 16 years old. So it's like, who cares if she's 17?
Right, so let's say he cheated.
If that was the case, like, but yeah, 7.5. I thought it was really good. I definitely recommend watching it, even if that's not just their type of show. It wasn't mine, but I definitely think it was great show, great acting, good writers, and unique plot, like something you're probably not going to see before, again, or you haven't seen before.
Yeah, I hope it does stay a limited series. I think this open-ended, who did it, everyone did it, no one did it, works for it. And I swear, guys, I'm about to say my rating. I don't do it just to fuck with him or anything like that. I thought of this rating when we started the episode. I would give this show a solid 8 out of 10. Similar to, the big thing was like, there were some things I didn't like, but they didn't take away from the show at all for me. If even they can repeat that again, there's like such minute things that were like big complaints, but I think that was intentional. Like everything what it seemed like with this show, that's why I love limited series, is they put everything they want and like they can't do. You can use your
vision,
so you can fully flesh it out. Yeah. So everything they wrote, it felt like it was intentional. I feel like there was really no like filler scenes or anything like that. Maybe, but it was maybe such a minute thing or something like that. Think of any but I feel like every scene really mattered. Like
the it was like and it was like a part of the mystery. Like you had to remember the scene because it was going to come back.
Yep, exactly. So I give it 8 out of 10. He gives it 7.5. Let us know in the comments what you guys rated the show, what you did like, what you didn't like, what we should talk about next episode. Obviously, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Links are all down below. Other than that, I'm Tom. This is Sean, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.